What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. I am BDJ. Going to be talking about Sami Zayn, the current United States champion, and he has been absolutely cooking as the champion. The U.S. Open Challenge. Now, a lot of fans weren't really on board with Sami Zayn being the champion in the beginning. They were just over Sami Zayn. They didn't really like him as champion. They were tired of him and his underdog, whiny, I'm fighting from underneath promos he was doing constantly every single week. And the hate was deserved. I mean, he was kind of getting old as a character. And not that his character has changed, but I do think him having the open challenges have really helped fans get behind him a little bit more, because you're seeing guys like Carmelo Hayes and Javon Evans and many others get opportunities to get a match on TV, to show the fans what they can really do. It was a lot like when Cena had his U.S. Open Challenge, and you saw Sami Zayn come out and accept. Even though he got hurt, he still got the showcase. Kevin Owens is what put him on the map. Many others, Cesaro, like you saw many talent who didn't really get that opportunity to face a guy like Cena now get this opportunity to go on TV and have a 15 to 20 minute U.S. title match against one of the best of all time. And Sami Zayn, not that he's on Cena's level when it comes to accomplishments, he's a fantastic wrestler. He's given a lot of wrestlers, whether they've been on the roster for a while or whether it's guys from NXT, an opportunity to come to the main roster and show that audience what they can do on a big stage. And Javon Evans was incredible in their match. Carmelo Hayes, we all know what he can do. He just hasn't really been given the right booking or opportunity. We've seen it help this title. And let's be honest, the United States title for the last few years has not really been booked to be important. It's just been a title that's on the roster. We had Nakamura had the title. He didn't really have a good reign for it. LA Knight's reign was decent. We've just kind of seen this title just be kind of just there. Certain wrestlers might win it and they make it a little bit more important. But other than that, really, since Cena held it, it's just been a flop as a championship. And Sami Zayn having these U.S. U.S. Open challenges for the title has really helped establish it again as something to watch, a reason to tune into Smackdown to see, okay, who's Sami Zayn going to be facing this week? And say what you want about Sami Zayn, whether you're mad he's retaining in all these matches or not. He has helped establish this title as something to be invested in again. And it's taken a long time to get to this point. And I really liked him and Javon Evans' match. Like I said, I thought that match was spectacular. We'll see who he faces tonight as I'm recording. It's just, for me, WWE's been going through the motions a lot lately when it comes to their product. It's just been a lot of the same thing. Not a lot to be excited about. It's kind of just repackaging stories every single week. I mean, the Raw has just been kind of a bore fest for a while now. I know Roman Reigns came back, but he's been coming back every other month. It's just been not much bright spots when it comes to the overall product. Even premium live events like WrestlePalooza was a letdown besides maybe one or two matches. Like, WWE is just going through the motion, and it's good to see Zayn having these open challenges, because it gives me personally a reason to tune into SmackDown every week, because I want to see, okay, who's Sami facing? How's the match going to be? Because all the matches have been good. Sami Zayn's one of the best workers in the business. Whether you like him or hate him, he is a fantastic worker. And he made Javon Evans look like $1 million. He helped Carmelo Hayes in their match. Like, he's a good ring general and a guy who can lead any talent to a match. And I've heard a lot of fans, speculating maybe Obafemi comes up and beats him for the U.S. title. I could see that. That'd be a great way to debut him. Maybe he shows up tonight and beats Sami for the title. Like, Sami's already established this title in a few months, more than half the roster has. And, not that that's all on the roster, because it's all about, does the booker care about you as a champion? Are you getting the right booking? Sami's fortunately a favorite of Triple H, so he's gotten more leeway to have open challenges and to do more with the title. But if Obafemi debuts and wins this title, it's a big deal with him as champion as well, because he's one of the future superstars of this business. And to me, that's how you debut somebody. It's just like when Kevin Owens debuted against Cena. He was an NXT champion. He beat John Cena. Not that Sami Zayn's on John Cena's level, but you have Obafemi debut and immediately beat one of your top baby faces in Sami Zayn for the U.S. title. It automatically makes him a big-time deal. Not that he already wouldn't be, but you know what I'm saying. He would be a big-time deal because he'd win a title in his first match like Paige did. Not that it's a world title, but still, it's still a championship. And Sami would look strong in defeat. He'd be losing to one of the up-and-coming stars, and he would have done his job to get that title relevant for Obafemi, because if Obafemi came up and just beat, Sammy without these open challenges, if that's what they end up doing, I don't think the title means as much. These open challenges are a good way to make titles relevant. Not that every champion has to do them, because it would be a special if every champion did an open challenge. But I do think like companies need to, like AEW, WWE, TNA, make your world champions do an open challenge every other month or something, just occasionally. You don't have to do it every week like Sammy's doing, but like they don't really have world champions do open challenges like that. Like have Rollins come out and go, you know what? I feel like being a giving champion today. I want to give somebody an opportunity to come out and open challenge and face me for my world title, because it helps get wrestlers, it helps get eyes on wrestlers, whether that's men or women wrestlers. You can do that with the female wrestlers as well. Like just have a big time name like a Sami Zayn or a Seth Rollins or a Cody Rhodes. And Sammy's obviously doing it, but like if you get one of your world champions in that occasionally as well, it gets somebody important. Let's say you have, somebody from NXT that's not really a huge star, but they're somebody you're really high on. You had the debut against a Cody Rhodes, and they put on a spectacular performance like Kevin Owens did when he faced Cena. That gets them on the map automatically as like, okay, this guy just went 15 to 20 minutes with your guy. It even gives like the backstage people an opportunity to see, okay, can you handle a match against a top, baby face or heel or our champion or whatever? And I think they should try doing that a little bit more often. But I really enjoyed Sami Zayn's run as U.S. champion. Who knows how long it will continue, but he's really helped elevate. Javon Evans is incredible. And it got a lot of main roster fans. It gave them an opportunity to see him on a national stage, because if you don't watch NXT, you don't know about Javon Evans, but he's one of the future stars coming out of that brand, and he's only 21 years old, and him facing Sami Zayn on Smackdown gave the main roster audience a chance to see him in a fantastic match and really give him a chance to highlight what he can do in the ring. And that match accomplished that. And I think that's a great thing for WWE. AEW sometimes does that, but they don't really do open challenges. Like they just kind of put Hangman against somebody else and they just do a bunch of moves and that's it. Sammy and Javon didn't need to go 100 miles per hour and put each other through flaming tables and slam each other on thumbtacks and kick out of 20 finishers and all this other stuff. They had a good back and forth match, and Javon Evans got to showcase what he can do, and Sami Zayn got to retain the title. That's the goal of these open challenges, right? Like to showcase people. They don't have to beat Sami Zayn. The thing that wrestling fans forget, because I saw a lot of wrestling fans were like, Carmelo Hayes should have won against Sami Zayn. Why did he lose? Like Carmelo Hayes has no momentum right now. Him winning would have made no sense. But you gave him an opportunity to face one of your champions, and he got to have a great match, and it gave Carmelo Hayes, a little bit of clout come out of that match. And that's the goal of the U.S. Open Challenge, is to give the opponent an opportunity to face the champion and to just showcase what they can do on a bigger stage. That's the goal. But all in all, that'll do it for this video. I really hope you guys have been, enjoying Sami Zayn's title reign just as much as me, because it's been very, very good. And I give Sami a lot of credit because he was getting a lot of criticism in the beginning. And watch to see where it goes. Before I wrap up this video, though, I don't know how often we will be doing podcast episodes on this channel. I know it's called the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. I will still do podcasts with me and maybe occasionally guests. I just haven't been able to get people here to do it, and it's just gotten frustrating. I've asked, Tears and, many others to show up, and they just haven't replied. They ignore me occasionally, and we're still on good terms, all of us. I'm not, saying I'm not friends with them anymore. It's just, I could tell the mindset isn't really there with the channel currently with Tears and others, and that's not me just throwing Tears strictly under the bus. It's just the others aren't really part of the channel as much as Tears is, and you guys don't really probably know them as much. But it's just hard to get him here or get a lot of people here. And with my work schedule and with how everything I got going right now, I got to get stuff done, and I can't just be in a limbo all the time, because pretty much with Tears, it's I'll ask him, he won't reply, or he'll tell me he'll be on that day or whatever the case, and it just doesn't happen. And that became frustrating for me, because I really am determined to get this channel, more consistent and upload more content and really just be, uploading videos weekly. And it's just with my job working overnights, when I hear from him and from others like, oh, I'll be on at this time, and I adjust my sleep schedule, and they don't show up, it really messes me up that day because I couldn't have got the video done before then. So I will still have them on. It just won't be as consistent. We weren't even really being that consistent anyways, if you guys notice. We were rarely getting podcast episodes out. It's just been a constant just hassle. I feel like sometimes I have to almost like annoy Tears to get him here, and it shouldn't have to be like that. And I will talk to him about it as well and see what the next move is. But it's just, you know, it's either you're in or you're out. You guys know how it is. If you guys do stuff as a group, it's, you know, you got to have everybody on the same page and everybody communicating well. I haven't really gotten the communication from their side to know what the plan is. What are we doing this week? Are you actually going to be here? And again, it's not just Tears. Sometimes it's QJ. Sometimes it's Hedgehog. Sometimes it's other people where, you know, the communication isn't really there from their side. And, you know, I'm trying to get stuff set up and it just doesn't always come to fruition. And you guys know how it is. If you guys do something as a group, you got to have everything clicking. And if it's not, it's tough. So we'll see how everything lines up. Again, this is not the end of any of them on the channel. It just won't be as consistent. And it wasn't as consistent lately as I probably would like it to be anyways. But I will still try to get them on occasionally. But I'm not going to beg anybody to, you know, come on the podcast or just keep messaging them or stuff like that, because it's just, if they're not replying or they're constantly not showing up, you can tell they're not really as invested as they lead on, or maybe they just don't care or whatever the case. So that's the whole situation with that. I didn't want to, blabber on about that. So make sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Peace.